Hey, welcome. Daniel with TriPoint Scents. Thanks for tuning in. I've got my top 10 designer fall of 2024 list coming up right here. Stay tuned to the end. Gonna have a little bit of honorable mentions. So, let's get into it. First one, and this is really in no particular order, it's just gonna be as they come out of this box that I have here. So, quick snippet. It's not going to be like my normal long full-length reviews talking about all these details. Just going to go and give you a few things that I think about each fragrance and why I picked it. So this one, Mont Blanc Legend Night. Reason I picked this one is because it smells very good, inoffensive. It is satisfying my freshy for fall take. Okay, so we are transitioning out of summer. Unfortunately, I'm in South Texas, so it's still 95 degrees during the day, but it is cooling down at night. Okay, it's getting into the 60s in the evening, and the mornings are a little bit crisp, so I do like that. So this one is kind of taking the place of the fresher, kind of the aquatics or the gym scents that I typically wear during the summer. Mont Blanc Legend Night. Inexpensive as well. Probably can get this 50 ml for 35 bucks or something like that. Good scent. Okay. Next one up. This one might be a little bit harder to find, and it's certainly probably not available in this bottle anymore. It is by Loewe, and that's a Spanish perfume house. This is the Solo 7, and this is the Anonimo, I think is what they call it. Anonimo. It's a little bit of an aromatic kind of lavender fragrance, not quite of a barbershop scent, but it is going to be a little bit on the more mature side. It has a little bit of incense in there, which is why I picked it for the fall. It's got a little bit of the darker tones, and it does last decently long. It opens very strong. Okay, it's got this a little bit of powder, a little bit of incense, but it has a fresh scent overall. Not quite like the Mont Blanc Legend. It has a little bit more depth. This is a thinner fragrance than this one because of that incense note. So that's number 2. Number 3, I have kind of a tie, so I guess it's not really top 10. It's a, let's say, 10.5, and that's because these are so similar. So you've got Man in Black, okay, from Bulgari, and then you've got the original Spice Bomb from Victor and Rolf. Now, both of these, to me, are interchangeable. There's really no difference. This one's going to be a tad bit sweeter, a little bit less on the tobacco note. This one's going to be a little bit more upped on the tobacco note, and the spices not as sweet, but they're both on the sweeter side. Still a fresh scent, okay, but I wouldn't really recommend wearing these to the gym, right? You could. This one, Mont Blanc Legend, would be a better gym scent if you wanted a more spicy gym scent to go with the season, instead of going back to your kind of summer fragrances for the gym. Anyway, I talk about the gym a lot because I'm in the gym a lot. If you haven't watched some of my other videos, I am into fitness and health and a natural bodybuilder, so that's why I bring it up. And so my apologies if that bores you, but it's going to keep happening. Next one up, we're going to go, almost dropped it. Halloween. All right, this is the Manshot. Yeah. This is just Manshot. There's another one that's really popular. It's called the Manshot X. Much sweeter. This one is going to be I don't think it was necessarily a clone or a dupe. Or I would say probably an inspired by fragrance that is very similar to La Nuit de l'Homme. And this one, much more affordable. And this is probably 35 bucks, very similar to the Mont Blanc Legend Night. Smells great. It's got cardamom, a little bit of lavender. It has this daiquiri note in there. I don't know what daiquiri is supposed to smell. It's kind of like champagne, where they put that in the note breakdown. I don't drink daiquiris. They taste good. I've had one before, but I couldn't tell you what they smell like exactly. That's kind of, I don't know. It's marketing, I'm sure. But if you like La Nuit de l'Homme, this one is very similar, much more affordable, and smells great in my opinion. Okay, moving on. We've got, alright, these are going to be a little bit more in the, probably, this first bunch, and it just so happened that I picked them this way. Maybe subconsciously I knew that they would be grouped better together. Those would probably be, I would say, more of a daytime scent. These next ones might be more of your nighttime scent because they're a little bit spicier and sit, well, some of them a little bit closer to the skin. This one, Xyreus by Givenchy. This is Xyreus Rouge. I don't know if it comes in this bottle anymore, this red one. I have the original Xyreus, so I do know a lot of people get confused. There is the Xyreus, it's a skinny, kind of frosted looking bottle that is a, to me, much more spring summertime scent. The Rouge, right, which means red, I believe in French. This is going to be a less, it's still fresh, but it's got some powderiness to it, some aromatics to it, and a little bit of spice, which is why I put it in a fall lineup. I also put it in here because it's not really talked about a lot, and it's going to be a little bit more unique. It does lean a little bit more to the more mature side, so if you are probably in your mid-30s or 40s, maybe suits you a little bit better than someone who is a little bit younger, but that doesn't mean you can't wear it. Try something out, test it out, and let me know what you think about this one. I can do, and any of these, again, if you tried them, please let me know in the comments whether you like my take on them or not. If you want a full-length review on these, definitely can do that. Yeah, please let me know, because I'm making these videos. I like making them for myself, but then I also love your engagement in the community, right? So that kind of keeps me going, keeps me motivated. So I do enjoy the back and forth. If you want a more direct experience, you can also always follow me on Instagram, where I post stories pretty much every day. Try and post a couple of times a day on the stories, and then I'll make a post every now and then for a reel or something like that. But I'm open for DMs. I love talking about fragrances. So obviously, right, this is probably going to be ending up to a maybe 20-minute video, even though I'm trying to speed through these. So next one up, this one, Vince Camuto Smoked Oud. I was unaware how, I guess, expensive this one has gotten, and I think it's going for like $80 to $100 right now. I got this as a gift when I first started collecting about 6 years ago from my wife, and I had put it together a list of fragrances that I wanted, and she ended up snagging this one, which at the time wasn't very expensive. I think it was like maybe $30 for this 100 ml, which is an amazing price. The red highlights on this bottle really give it the right look and feel for the way that it smells. It's got a nice cinnamon note to it. I don't really get too much oud, and it is fresh, spicy, cinnamony, a little bit of woody. It dries down to like that nice kind of like ambroxan dry down, in my opinion. Very good fragrance, but I don't recommend spending $80 to $100 on this, right? Like, that's absurd. So if you can find it at a good price, maybe $40 to $50 if you really want it, but don't go trying to buy this just because it may be hyped or it's expensive right now. Just move on, right? I love it. It's sentimental to me. Always going to be in my collection. However, it's not worth that price tag that they're putting up on eBay and whatnot that I've seen. Next, we have got this one, Versace Oud Noir. I love this one. because it's a very good take on Tom Ford's Oud Wood, which is extremely expensive. We've got $50, 50 ml for $200 to $250 from the last time I checked. If it's your signature scent, I think I mentioned this before, then I understand like you want that original fragrance, but if it's not, grab this one. 65 to 70 bucks, well worth it. Smells phenomenal. Okay, very, very good in the office. It's not going to offend anyone, and you will probably fool some people that wouldn't know any better that it smells like oud wood. Okay, so if you wanted to pull the wool over someone's eyes for whatever reason and let them know that you're trying to smell like oud wood instead of the Versace Oud Noir, you probably could do that. There was talk about it being discontinued, but I see it on discounters still pretty regularly. So again, good replacement for oud wood, and it smells great for the office. Little scent bubble, not going to project too much. None of these, other than Spice Bomb, are very heavy projectors, so you won't really have to worry about that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is number 8. Now this one I do know has been discontinued, but you can still find it relatively easily. It's not ultra rare or anything at this point. The prices have gone up since I first purchased it. This is, very simply put, a apple cinnamon pie. If you like gourmands, if you like smelling like that, and it's not overly sweet, which is more important to me because I do like sweet fragrances, but this one is done just right. It smells awesome. Performance is so-so. Usually gourmands last a little bit longer, but I mean, like this one, if you want to smell like a apple cinnamon baked good, you're gonna nail it. Okay, I can't tell you that anyone would be offended by this either. Might be a little bit too much for the office, but definitely if you're going to be in the holidays around friends and family, they're going to love smelling you. Okay, next up we have 2. All right, some of my favorites. These will be probably, well, one of them is going to be rarer than the other, but let's do this. First one up, this masterpiece right here. I love this scent. Cartier Declaration Parfum. I did a post about this on Instagram, or a story. This juice matches the color, or matches the fragrance color that you get when you smell it, or at least for me. It is very spicy, just a hint of freshness and sweetness mixed perfectly, with a little bit of this skankiness on the back end from that cumin note from the original Declaration, but it is done magnificently. I mean, it is an addictive scent, and I'm not sure what it's going for now. I think you can still find it online, but I mean, like, this is pure class. There's so many niche, right, quote unquote, niche fragrances out there right now that are charging an arm and a leg. If you can get this for $100 or less, snag it, because it is worth it. You would be hard pressed to find something in the designer line that is of this quality. So again, check it out if you can. Get your nose on it. One of my favorites. Next one, Prada Amber Pour Homme. Now this one, again, is, I think, discontinued, but I do see it pop up from time to time, so I think there's probably still stock available out there. This one is a mix of patchouli, vanilla, and amber. Smells so inviting. It has your typical Prada, and this is going to be a little bit of a divergence from the Ocean line, because the Ocean line has lost what, in my opinion, Prada used to do in most of their fragrances, was this really clean, soapy DNA that was kind of their backbone. This one has that in there, but it's sweetened up and warmed up with that patchouli, vanilla, and amber. It's just, I love this fragrance for just relaxing at night. I'll wear it to bed quite a bit, because even though it's not lavender, which is supposed to relax you, I don't know what it does. It just does something to me that that puts me in a headspace of just calm. And I'll put it on my arm sometimes when I'm going to sleep, and just smelling it as I go to sleep is a nice way to end the night. So that's my top 10 for fall. I appreciate you with you stumbling over my words here. I appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This is an unedited video because I have been putting this on delay, so I do apologize if I've stumbled over my words a little bit more than usual and there's not as many graphics and things, or I don't really use that many graphics. But anyway, I did promise you a, what do you call it, a honorable mention. So this one here, let's see, we're going to go with this Oud Aromatic, okay? This one is for my floral lovers, because I do tend to stick away from florals. But this Oud Aromatic here is a very unique take on an oud-based fragrance. And it smells white florals, almost medicinal, almost like you go to the doctor's office or the dentist office and it has that kind of like plasticky smell, but it warms up on your skin just nicely. And it's, I think, a good scent for fall. You could also use it for spring, but it has this kind of like depth to it that might be a little bit much if your spring gets a little bit too hot. It could turn cloying on your skin. So this is my honorable mention. A little bit of a out there fragrance in my opinion, especially considering the rest of my lineup. But I want to throw a curveball at you. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.